musician and comedian.
That's a lot. Steve Palmore has a message for today's kids trying to navigate the streets of Chicago. If I did, so can you. WGN's Patrick Elwood is here now with more. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, guys. Steve is a one-of-a-kind showman, so much so that he created a word. He calls himself a musician. He is known as Jazzman S, whose act combines magic, comedy, and music. Here he is performing on the Penn and Teller Fool Us TV show, and as it relates to this genre, it is the mountaintop. His is a tale of success as improbable, perhaps as levitating a bass fiddle.
This place has a lot of memories for me.
On the streets growing up on the city's west side, he was just little Steve.
This is 3008 West Walnut.
And at a young age, Steve Palmore heard this outside his home.
Every night I would hear gunshots, I would hear ladies screaming, and I would hear police sirens.
To keep his mind off of those things, his parents would draw his attention elsewhere.
This is where I actually got my first magic kit for Christmas.
It was about that time his father and mother decided to move from the west side to a safer neighborhood. Dad originally had misgivings about that because his job as a school custodian was just 2 blocks away from their home here at Beidler Elementary. So it was off to the far south side and eventually Morgan Park High School. But before that would happen, he would have to attend a feeder school, which would be Mount Greenwood Elementary. Soon, he would have to navigate an environment of a different kind, the hostility of white parents very much not welcoming its first black students, who were bussed in from several neighborhoods away on the so-called other side of the tracks. Steve and 6 others would come to be known as the Mount Greenwood 7. With police protection before and after school, 7 black kids would run the gauntlet of angry white parents who didn't want their kind in that neighborhood. But as the semester wore on, the white kids and the black kids would develop their own friendships. For Steve, knowing a few magic tricks wouldn't hurt at all.
It was a point in life where I realized that I could influence and entertain people.
And later at Morgan Park,
I made a lot of friends there.
Steve would excel.
Morgan Park was a really significant turning point for me.
After high school, he would head east to New York City and make a living as a musician.
After 5 years of traveling as a professional musician, which I did, I was with the Duke Ellington Orchestra, I was Stevie Wonder, I played 5 Broadway shows, and I lived out of a suitcase for the first 5 years.
So he pivoted and became a teacher, but magic and music were always in his back pocket.
That made me really, really popular amongst the students. So I continued doing magic and playing music gigs, and I taught school for for 28 years.
About that time, Steve started getting gigs on cruise ships as a musician, but he would always make a point of spending time with the ship's magic acts.
And then they told me about some magic shops in New York.
Magic shops that had shows on the weekends. And one day, after the owner had another act cancel, Steve was recruited to fill in. It was then that another magician took note.
He called Penn and Teller's producers and said, listen, you gotta see this guy. You gotta see what he is doing.
They wasted very little time getting in touch with Steve.
We wanna know if you're available to come out to Las Vegas in July. Are you joking me? Who is this?
Today, he is working at what he loves to do on what is more or less a retirement tour. Looking back, he would carve out a niche that never existed growing up, part musician, part magician, and all-around showman. There was no Sidney Poitier of the magic world.
None at all. This is a normal deck of cards, right?
Here at our WGN studios, he entertained me and Demetrius Ivory with a couple of mind benders. Even guessing at numbers he asked us to pick. Demetrius was 36.
You are thinking of the number 36. Show that number to the camera, please. What? The number 36.
Mine was 25. This is not a setup, ladies and gentlemen. Honest to God.
A lot of times you have to carve your path in life. And if I could give any type of inspiration to any young males or any young people, I would say find something that you're passionate about and go for it.
I was grinning every moment, loving every single bit of it.
Because sometimes, like that old TV commercial proclaimed, tricks are for kids, big and small.
So he amazed myself and Demetrius with a couple more. Didn't have enough time to put them in there, but he is the real deal. And at the tender age of 70, he's not retiring anytime
Good,
soon.
good. What a career arc and what a light he's got inside.
He's an amazing man and a great inspiration for others who want to do something. And remember, his message was, nothing's guaranteed. Don't give up. You will find resistance, but keep your eyes on the prize.
Great message.
100%.
All right, did anybody figure out